for letting me be here today. I came up from Columbia up to the pretty part of the state. It's always a good opportunity to get on I-26 and go anywhere else in the summertime here in Columbia. Glad to be here. So I do regulatory work for Duke related to our energy efficiency and demand-side management programs. Basically getting all the best minds together so that the programs that we give to our customers are the best that they can be. And one of the questions that I get very frequently about energy efficiency programs is, why does the electric company want me to use less electricity? And where is the business case in that? It actually is good business for us, because when we plan our generation, we are meeting the electricity needs of our customers. We look at the supply side, which is generation, and we look at the demand side, which is customer use. Now, we can build more generating plants in order to meet energy needs, but it's not cheap and it's very risky. It's a lot easier to figure out how much we can control from the demand side first. It also supports our environmental and sustainability goals. It's better for our customers. It gives them more control over their bills. It gives them the possibility of reducing their electric bills. It gives them cleaner indoor air and better safety, and it just makes their homes more comfortable. So we increase customer satisfaction, we drive down overall system cost, and our programs are pretty effective. We have some of the best programs in the country, as a matter of fact. In 2019, we estimate that the changes that our customers make as a direct result of our programs will save 5,600,000 plus megawatt hours. That's enough to run regular non-Addison built homes, about 400 of them for a year. It also saves 897 megawatts of demand. So to put that into perspective, one of the units at Oconee is about 850 megawatts. So that's a pretty good reduction that we get from our demand-side management programs. And then for the company, it will save $45 million in fuel costs as a result of our energy efficiency programs. And those are savings that are passed directly on to customers. So it's a win-win for everybody. So we have programs for homes and for businesses, and we try to get better equipment, better behaviors for our customers, and then a collaboration between the company and the customer. So I'm just going to go very briefly through what we offer so you get an idea of the span of our programs. So for better equipment, one of our most effective ways is to buy down the cost of some low-cost energy efficiency measures. So for instance, LEDs. Has anybody been on our online store and gotten your free LEDs? Okay, good. Well, keep doing it. As long as you're eligible for your free LEDs, you should definitely get them. And go back to the store frequently, because we're looking at adding other items on there. And what we do is we figure out how much money you're installing these measures is going to save the company, and we share that savings with you in the form of a rebate, or in the case of the store, we buy down the cost. We subsidize the purchase. We have not just lighting, but pool pumps, water heaters, and water measures like low-flow shower heads. The residential Smart Saver program is for bigger items. Probably about 40% of the energy you use in your home is for heating and cooling. So if you can get your air conditioning system in better working order, you can save a lot of energy. So we have the Smart Saver program. If you want to know if you qualify or what kind of equipment qualifies, the best thing to do is to go on the website, and you can use the Find It Duke referral system, and we will refer you to 3 contractors that know our programs, that their work is inspected, we feel comfortable standing behind their work, and through them you can get any of these things listed up here installed, and they will make sure that you get all the benefits that are coming to you from our programs. Now, most of what I showed you is for folks who are in single-family homes and can afford some capital upgrades. But we have a lot of customers, and we want to make sure that all of them benefit from these programs. So we have income-qualified programs, several of them, One is our neighborhood energy saver, where we find neighborhoods where 50% of residents are 200% of the federal poverty level, at or below 200%. And then we sweep the neighborhood and go into every home that wants us to come in. We make recommendations and install some low-cost energy-saving equipment there at the home. We also have larger projects that we leverage some public money and put our money together with weatherization programs in order to do projects up to $4,000. And we'll replace refrigerators. And then for folks who live in apartments and condos, we work with property managers and property owners in order to sweep through a building, help each of the tenants make upgrades in their individual units, and then upgrade common spaces to drive down the energy use of the whole building. And our home energy house calls. Anybody had one of these before? You call, well, okay, we've had a couple. You can call Duke, set up an appointment. They'll have a certified auditor come out, check your house, look in your crawl space, look at your air conditioner, look at your ductwork, make recommendations. They'll leave behind a free kit. It takes about an hour. It's totally free. It's probably, we estimate it's about $250 if you had to pay for the service to get somebody of this caliber to come out. And then from there, they can tell you what would be a good idea for you to maintain, or changes that you might want to make. And then you can go to finditduke.com in order to find a contractor to help you make those changes. So that's how we do the equipment, how we drive better behaviors. We have the home energy report, which some of you may get either in the mail or by email, that compares your usage with other homes of similar size. It also has recommendations on the energy report, and it gives you an idea of what you can save with a little changes here and there. But if you are one of those people like I am, that has kids staying home from all summer while I'm at work, you know that you're not the only one that makes energy decisions in your house. When I come home and the living room feels like a meat locker, I am reminded of this frequently. So we have an energy education program. A troupe of professional actors goes into schools. They put on a play for the younger kids, for middle schoolers. It's more like a comedy improv to drive home some energy saving themes. And then we give them a survey. If the families fill out the survey, then they'll have a kit delivered directly to their door. Schools that have high participation are entered into a drawing and win money, which they can use along with the curricula to make the school more energy efficient. And then the collaboration between customers and the company. The Power Manager program is where customers will allow Duke to control their air conditioner. And so we can do it through a Wi-Fi thermostat, or usually, or what we've done in the past, is you put a switch on your air conditioner. And then during times of peak energy usage, Duke can control your air conditioner. Just drop it a couple of degrees. And some people think, that sounds terrible. Why would I let you turn my air conditioner off in the hottest part of the day? But it makes a big difference, and mostly customers don't even notice it. So we hired a third party, not associated with Duke at all, to come in and review this program and tell us what we're actually saving and how customers actually feel about it. And it turns out that more than 90% of our customers didn't even know that their air conditioning unit had been changed. But the impact was that we were able to reduce demand on our system by 138 megawatts. 138 megawatts is significant. That means there's probably 2 or possibly even 3 combustion turbine generators that we call peaker plants that we didn't have to turn on because we had the Power Manager program. And in the heat of the summer, that's huge. It also keeps us from having to go out and buy power on the open market, and it keeps our costs low. It's a lot cheaper to pay customers $8 to let us do this than to go out and buy power at the hottest part of the year. So that's the Power Manager program. That's a really good one. energy efficiency isn't just about using the right amount of energy, but it's also about using it the right time of day. And the Power Management Program helps us do it. And if you want to know more about our programs, and since we have lots of business owners here, I was asked to talk about the residential programs, but we have similar programs for businesses too. Large businesses, industrial customers, we have custom programs, design assistance, engineering reviews. We have a team of people that are ready to customize whatever it is that you do. And for small businesses, we have our Small Business Energy Saver program, which is a turnkey operation. Go on our website or call your Duke customer service number, and they can get you in touch with that. Thank you.
If you want to come sit, and Todd, if you will come up, we'll see if we can get these microphones working for us. Yes, Eric.
I have a question for Lynda. Are you able to speak to Duke's efforts to support the electrification of transportation?
I am.
All right.
It's on.
Okay.
What I've seen nationally now is you have a number of utilities, often in conjunction with PUCs, Southern California Edison, Southern Company, ECO. They're really exploring ways that they can help support the electrification of transportation, both light duty and heavy duty. That's manifested itself in a number of different ways. Looking at demand charge management, elimination of demand charges, particularly in heavy duty transit, established time of use rates, commercial time of use rates for heavy duty application. And we're starting to see this sprout up. I have a vested interest in that. I work for a company that makes electric buses. And anytime you can have...
I have a vested interest in that too. I work for a company that makes electricity.
and we provide good load, right? That good load can come at night, but we don't have a lot of other load issues. So I'm just wondering what Duke is doing in this space.
Duke has really stepped out here recently and hired an electric vehicle, I forget what his name is, but a lot of y'all have met him, Lane Reynolds, who's promoting electric vehicles. We are currently in production for a pilot program that has been presented to regulators for some initial comments, but it is in the works and it addresses many of the things that you just mentioned. The big obstacle for EVs right now is really the regulatory construct, because in order to get regulatory rate recovery, you have to be able to prove a system benefit. There has to be a benefit to the ratepayers. Electric companies, because we're a monopoly, we can't just do whatever we want. We have to get approval from regulators ahead of time before we can spend any money. That's where it's held up right there, is convincing regulators that electric vehicles have enough drivers at this point to justify the infrastructure investments. And that's where we are. And so we're making that case to regulators. We were just in a meeting for a couple hours on Monday making that case to regulators. We have documentation in front of them. We're talking to them regularly. And as soon as we can make that case, then you will see Duke's involvement and advocacy for electric vehicles really take off. But we're doing a lot behind the scenes right now.
Great. Question? Yes.
What is, can you speak to Duke's position on raising the limits of net metering beyond the 2% level? You know what I'm thinking about?
I do. Again, we were talking, that's a statutory limitation. That wasn't really Duke's, it's not Duke's choice whether or not they can have 2% or more than 2%. That's in Act 236. And Act 236, when it was signed, was supposed to last through 2020. And we thought it would take every bit of 5 years in order to get that. And I think we just all did a better job than we expected. And so we're 2 years ahead of where we thought we would be. And in fact, I remember sitting in those meetings and people about 2%. That would never happen. Because at the time we were at like 0.02%. It was tiny. So we support solar. The company supports solar. It's just a matter of having, like I said, we're regulated, so we don't get to make these decisions on our own. We have to have some statutory support, and we're in the process of talking about the way to meet all of the customers' needs when it comes to solar.
So my comment earlier about we need to talk to Duke really should have been, we need to talk to our elected officials.
Duke has a lot of things to do.
Tony?
What are Duke sources of energy?
Well, we believe in a generation mix and fuel diversity, so most of our energy comes from nuclear.
You have a breakdown?
Yes, and Michelle probably has.
Yeah, I can answer that.
Well, let me hold on that because Michelle is going to be a panelist later.
Okay.
So why don't we just hold on that question since Michelle is going to answer that. I had
That's a
a,
cliffhanger.
okay, go ahead.
I have two questions for Mr. Johnson about what your business does, right? So, does your business retrofit current housing with the technologies that you talk about? Like, for example, when you give a seal, the cost base of current housing. And my second question is, like, right now, houses that go to the market at the most cheapest available houses are around like $200K. How much would a house that you build cost if it was going to the market in this market for you?
So I'll answer your first question, do we retrofit existing homes? We entertain remodeling projects, but only fairly significant remodeling projects. If someone's not living in the house. So we're not going to come in and do an insulation upgrade or an upfit, but we regularly refer people to companies that work for us that do encapsulated crawl spaces and that do insulation retrofits and things of that nature. Obviously, there's a more significant impact that we can make on existing housing stock, similar to what Duke is trying to do through their efficiency programs than on just new housing stock. And we have to be careful on existing homes because we can create unintended consequences. If we go in and we seal up an existing home and it has naturally drafted combustion appliances, we can make bad things happen. So we have to, there really needs to be a holistic approach, which is where the BPI certified evaluators come into play with Duke's audit that they'll come out and do for free. Those folks are trained and understand how to identify potential risks of energy upfits and upgrades. Hard to answer the other question about how much would a $200,000 starter home cost if we were doing it. I typically tell folks that when it's apples to apples, then we're probably within 5%, if not dead on or even less. But it's hard to get an apples to apples. So for example, our homes are typically going to have a top of the line heating and cooling system. What we found with our approach with clients is if we include that, there are very few people who want to back that out. So if we include a variable speed compressor heat pump and the most efficient system and say to a client, well, you could save $6,000 if you don't opt for this and go to the builder grade, many people aren't going to do that. But what you're going to get in that $200,000 house is going to be probably builder grade across the board. So it's a little difficult to do that comparison, but we find that the premium, because of my philosophy is this is what we do. We don't build code homes, and if you want one built better, we'll build it better for you. This is what we do, so this is how our business has evolved, and we're efficient at doing what we do.
Real quick.
What's your K value of your home versus others?
K value? I don't know if I'm familiar with that.
Total insulation.
Oh, the K, yeah. So I don't have an average K value for the whole house. Our walls are R19, our attics are 38. If that's what you're referring to, yeah.
Well, I see a lot of hands, but we need to move on to the rest of the program. So I want to thank both Todd and Lynda for your remarks, and I'm sure we'll have some opportunities later if people want to individually ask you questions. So thank you both.